What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here. Special Tuesday. Usually don't do a show on Tuesday. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought today was Wednesday. I'm so ready for that Miami Hurricanes game against Ole Miss, man. I cannot wait for Thursday. So I was kind of hoping today was Wednesday. So we still got a little bit more work to do. But as you guys are rolling in, man, make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit the share, all that kind of good stuff. And this is a little bit of an impromptu show. So we're going to get this thing rolling. So I definitely do appreciate all the love to the cave. Thank you so much. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Good sports weekend. Not so great for the Cowboys, right? Season's over. But, life goes on. My Hurricanes are now the focal point of my life until this thing is done. But the Cowboys make that move with Eberflus. I applaud it. Typically, the Cowboys do not like to make moves fast. They like to move slow. They like to move all this, that. But they waste no time, make the right decision, get rid of Eberflus. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Now, the thing is, what are they going to do next? And really, how much of the blame do you give to the coordinator? How much of the blame are you giving to the players? I mean, kind of where does it go? Where does it kind of fall in line with the Cowboys? Because really, you're going on 4 defensive coordinators in 4 years. So we gotta get into that. But what's up? What's up, Doug? What's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see everyone back in the cave. Hopefully, you guys had a nice little weekend. What is up? Who else we got? Count. We got Jeff. We got April. We got Sports. We got a whole crew in here. So definitely appreciate it. Like I said, a little impromptu, but obviously with the news and I missed the show Monday. So I do apologize. My son and my nephews started a basketball team. So they had their first game at the rec center. And it was fun to watch. I had a great time. My son, he's the 6th man, came off the bench, dropped 3 threes. The team won. My nephews played good. The whole team played good. Good to see these young kids out there working hard. I couldn't be playing no basketball. I would have been dead in a minute, but those guys did good. Hopefully that'll continue. So I do apologize for missing Monday. Jimmy, he's not upset, although he's not upset the Falcons season's over too, but he had some family business to attend to. So he'll be back on Monday. The only thing is, I'll be honest with you, when my son playing on Mondays, this old guy, I still like watching my kids play sports. So might have to tweak Monday a little bit. So it may go to Tuesday. So I do apologize if that messes up with y'all's schedule. You can always catch it on the replay. So definitely, hopefully it'll work out. It'll work out. Glad Flus is gone. And and this is what I would say. This is kind of what I would say is I thought he would be better. I'm going to be honest with you. Hey, we all get it wrong. It's the ones who could admit it. I'm one who could admit it. I thought he would bring some continuity. I thought he would bring some discipline. I thought, if you looked at him as a defensive coordinator, he has been pretty successful where he's been, not as a head coach, but as a defensive coordinator, ideally with the Colts. He was with the Cowboys organization because he knows kind of how things run. This was Jerry Jones's kind of guy. This is what he wanted. And it just didn't work out. And, we can look at a lot of ways why it didn't work out. You can look at Micah Parsons being traded right before the season. How much did that affect things? The free agents that they got, those were his picks. He wanted Murray. Solomon Thomas obviously was solid. Sanborn he wanted. Elam was another one who didn't work out for the Cowboys in secondary. So you look at a lot of you look at some of these things that he did. These were his decisions. He had his stamp. On it, and it just didn't work out. They made the trade for Quinnen Williams. They get Logan Wilson. So you're trying to hopefully maybe bring, get a little juice in there, but it just didn't work. And I think my opinion in watching his games, and watching his team all year, he was just stubborn. I mean, it was going to be his way. It was that round peg in the square hole. He did not make adjustments to the personnel that he had. He did not utilize some of the guys to their best skill set. Overshown being one for me. You never really he just kind of was there. He's a Swiss Army knife. He's a guy that should be all over the place, and I just didn't see it. I just didn't see it. So let me see what you guys got in the chat, though. Shocked he was fired that quickly. I'm with you. Cowboys don't move fast, Vince. I mean, you know that as well as I do, and all the Cowboy fans. So this showed me that the Cowboys are serious about maybe Jerry finally get it. Maybe finally the stubbornness that he has. It's finally like, you know what? This ain't working. Don't drag it out. Let's end it, because there are candidates. And if you think about in the past, when they drag stuff out, the candidates kind of go away. They go away, and then you're left with a few options. And I think the Cowboys did themselves a favor by moving on quickly, because there are some options out there. There are some options that the Cowboys can look at, and we'll get into that. But let's see. My man, I know Fred's happy there. I know Fred's happy they're gone. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. And I know Doug was happy. I know that was one of my names. So count. I got a list of names that it was going through. That would be an interesting one. Familiarity with the division, coming from Philadelphia, leading a good defense, right? He was a defensive coordinator for a team that went to the Super Bowl, so their defenses were always good. So that is definitely an option, because he's now out. So you're seeing these coaches, getting fired. Now you're seeing, hey, some of these guys are going to go to coordinator roles. Some of the guys that we're looking at and that we'd love are probably going to get head coaching opportunities. And so we're going to definitely get into that. So, but now that you've you set the tone and kind of asked that question about certain guys, let's look at some of the options. But I want to get into the chat, because I think it's always good to get with you guys. Yeah, Kenneth Murray. Like, here's the thing, though. What I would say, and again, I was wrong about Kenneth Murray, and this is why I sit in a chair and I'm not a scout. But this guy's played 4 or 5 years in the NFL, was a starter for those years. He obviously, to be a starter in the NFL, you got to be pretty damn good. So was it Eberflus or was it Murray? I don't know. I don't know. But they got him from the Titans. Titans didn't have a great defense, so that goes without saying. But was it him or was it Eberflus? And I'm one of those guys that I like to hold players accountable more than coaches, because I think at the end of the day, the players are out there on the field. But I think it goes hand in hand. I think, coaches put players in the best position for success and also optimize the talents that they have. And I thought a very interesting take when I was listening this morning to 105.3, and Bobby Belt was a simple question that you ask yourself, and that Shoddy maybe asked Eberflus, and maybe Jerry asked Eberflus, is what players improved this year under you? And I'm sitting there trying to think about what players improved under him on the defensive side of the ball, and I can't name one. Now, I don't know if you guys can name one. If you can, help me out. But we expected Sam Williams, right? Where was Sam Williams? Dante Fowler had a bad year. Azaraka was a rookie, so that really I'm not gonna count him. Osa didn't have as good a year as we thought. The whole secondary was a disaster. Linebackers, disaster. Overshown comes back. He didn't, I understand he's coming off an injury, so give the guy a little slack, but he didn't light up the highlight reel like he does, man. He's a Swiss Army knife, and they didn't use him at all. Clowney was one, but Clowney was a midseason, wasn't there at training camp, any of that. He was there after the fact. So that's where I say is, what players did he have that got better under his tutelage? Because I would say, you could say Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams is a Pro Bowl player. He's all pro player. That is what it is. But I don't know of any players that got better. Bland regressed, obviously, with some injuries. So that's kind of, what I'm looking at. And when you can't name anybody, the coach is there to develop. The coach is there to teach. The coach is there to get people better. Reddy Stewart, Yeah, I mean, if that's the best name we got, then we're in trouble. We're in trouble. If that's the best name we got of someone that, and hopefully you're being sarcastic, but if that's the best name that we got of improvement in that secondary, that is, man gotta go. Man gotta go. Man's gotta go. So I think the move was great. I think I was happy and proud to see the Cowboys do something that makes them resemble a football organization first. And if something's not working, rip the Band-Aid off. Say you made a mistake. Look, I'm not going to kill them, for mistakes. It is what it is. I would kill them if they kept the mistake. If they kept him around, I think that's when you've got to, that's when you got to really be upset with the organization. Let's see. I love how the players all went and stuck together to move forward. That's good. I haven't been on social media much. I try and stay away from social media. I know I shouldn't say that because I do videos and I tweet and I do all this stuff, but social media is so toxic. I try and stay away from it during the hours of working and other things. But anyway, looking at the options that could be available for the Cowboys. And, obviously Flores is at the top of everyone's list. That's what I would call the long shot. He's the guy that, you'd love to have. And they did a number on our offense, their defense, and what Flores did. And Shoddy, obviously, and Jerry praised the hell out of him. So, I mean, that would be a perfect candidate. His contract's up, but is he going to leave? Is he going to leave to make a lateral move when he's already kind of entrenched in Minnesota, or is he going to leave to make a head coaching move? That's what I would probably, look at. That's probably what I would probably say is I think he's a long shot. One of the names that became available that was a head coach, Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris, was part of the Rams defense coordinator and got the Super Bowl. He's always had pretty solid defenses. His background is secondary, which we need a little help there. So that could be a name that could you throw out there. Jonathan Gannon, you guys talked about, that was mentioned before. He's a name that you could see as a good option. He's got ties back to some of the coaches that are here. So there is a little bit of familiarity with each other. So that could be something that you could look at as well. One of the Seattle defensive position coaches I would look at Denver and some of their position coaches. I would look at even Atlanta, what they did with their defense. And, you're probably taking Raheem Morris. Maybe there's guys that he would take and bring over with him to run that defense. Those are some names out there. Al Harris is the wild card, right? Because I know a lot of people love Al Harris. Well, the only concern I have with Al Harris is I don't know how he left in Dallas. Obviously, they cleaned house and he left. There was a little bit. I saw someone in the chat saying softwood players. There was a little bit of that talk that he was a little coddling to Diggs and coddling to some other players. Wasn't as tough with him, but he has results in the secondary. My question is, can he be a defensive coordinator? That's the part where you take that chance. And the names I mentioned before, they've all been battle tested and have a resume of success as a defensive coordinator. So for me, I would prefer a defensive coordinator first that has been led really top defenses recently and has shown a lot. That would be my first kind of priority. That would be something I would look at first. And then if not, I would be looking at the position coaches at some of the top defenses. And maybe, he could be Al Harris. Like I said, I don't know the guy, so I'm not 100% sure, but that would be an option. Jim Schwartz would be another one that I would look at. I think Cleveland said they want to kind of keep him, but you know how that goes. They get rid of the coach, they get rid of the GM, whatever. I mean, people may want to do their own thing, bring in their own guys, which is totally understandable. So there's a lot out there, but what I would say is the good thing is the Cowboys made this move quickly, swiftly, didn't hold back, And I think that gave them an opportunity to have interviews, have conversations with a lot of different people. Look at the strategy, look at the talent that you have, right? Look at the talent that you have and what defensive coordinator can make the most out of the talent. Because really, where the best part of this defense is, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's in the front, in the trenches, because you got Quinn and Williams, you got Clark, and you got Osa. And I started thinking about it, and I'm no football expert when it comes to all the X's and O's and all that kind of stuff. But I'm looking at Easy E and I'm looking at Overshown, and I'm saying, all right, they get Clowney back, and if they want to bring Fowler, he had injuries, maybe he comes in. Now, could this be a team that could adjust and move over to like a 3-4 and utilize Overshown and utilize Easy E as stand-up pass rushers rather than Easy E with his hand to the ground, and really I like Overshown as a run forward pass rusher. I do. I like utilizing his skill set. So that's the part that they may want to think about and see what's out there. And yeah, cuts. I saw it earlier, and this is problem number one that I think Jerry and the organization is going to have to adjust from, because like I said, there is no cap on assistant coaches or coaches. You could pay him what the hell you want. Now, Jerry has been known, I know we're going to give him crap saying pay peanuts, but I believe it was Quinn and I believe it was Garrett when he was offensive coordinator. He's been known to pay certain coordinators a lot of money, but traditionally this has been the problem. He has not paid the coordinators as elite. And like, if I'm going after a top-notch defensive coordinator, I'm going to pay him top dollar. There you go. I got a man who agrees with me. 3-4. I think and again, you got could Quinn and Williams, could he be the nose, or is he going to have to slide over and you're going to have to get, that big, that Siragusa, that Sam Adams, that kind of guy. You got to get that real big body in there. My buddy was telling me, maybe go get that Florida guy who's like 400 pounds, just kind of throw him in there. That would be the only question. That's the only question. Yeah, DQ is one. And Garrett, when they had Wade Phillips, they paid Garrett a bunch of money, and then Garrett was going to go interview with, I think it was Baltimore at the time or something like that. And he ended up getting paid a whole bunch of money. So, but yeah, so that would be the question, and that's something for the coaches to figure out. But I just think they got to change something up in this defense, and what I mean by that is mentality. They got to change the mentality of this defense because they're considered soft. I mean, and I don't mean the players soft, but it just seems like the scheme is soft. Maybe it's the players too. I don't know, but they need to get some dogs. I mean, I don't want to toot my canes. We'll talk about them plenty Wednesday and maybe a little bit tonight too, but go watch that defense, man. They attack, they hit, they're mad, they're angry. I mean, it is violent. And I just don't see that with our defense. And I hadn't seen that in a long, long time. So that's the part that I don't know. I gotta see more of it. So I gotta see more of it. And if not, then they're gonna have to get different players to fit in, whether via trade. I think Jerry Jones did say that he would be they're going to be more aggressive in free agency. They're never going to be, overpaying for a guy, but at least be a little bit more active and like they were last year. I mean, I'll give them credit. They were active. Not all of them, hit a home run, but through free agency and trades, I mean, they did make a couple good moves, and Pickens being probably the biggest move. Clowney turned out to be a great move. He wants to come back to Dallas. Fowler, I mean, had a bad year, but he wants to come back. He was injured a lot. He said it was one of his worst years health-wise and just kind of everything. So maybe a fresh start for him would be good too. Yeah, I love McCain's. I am I cannot wait for my Hurricanes. I am just and the funny thing is after, before the Ohio State game, I had made the comment that just beat Ohio State and I won't ask for anything else. You can, whatever happens, I don't care. Not necessarily true. Not necessarily true. It makes you want more, and for the Cowboy fans, I equated it to when I was in Tampa, the Brady game. That was probably one of the happier moments in recent memory. Just, obviously sharing it with friends and my son, for us. And if you're a Cowboys fan, those moments have been few and far between. And it just makes me really disappointed that I didn't appreciate those years in the 90s. Obviously I was out of high school, just getting out of high school, getting on my own and kind of figuring things out. And, you see the Cowboys going to Super Bowl, and you're like, yeah, man, this is going to be just kind of the way it is. Jimmy Johnson is going to be here forever and life goes on. And this is kind of the way it is. And you do miss it. So, that's where I give a little grace to some of these teams that it's taken them 50 years. It's taken them 45 years, and it's taken them 55 years to get their first Super Bowl championship. There is no better feeling. There is no better feeling than those moments and I can't imagine if my Canes are lucky enough and fortunate enough to get to that next game, win Thursday and get to that next game. I mean, I'll be down in Miami. I don't know if I'll go to the game, but I am going to go down to Miami for the festivities and just be a part of the moment. And I think if Miami can get past Ole Miss, it's going to be a tough game. Miami's got a lot of history, and the history is not good in the Fiesta Bowl. They've never won in the Fiesta Bowl. They're 0-4 in the Fiesta Bowl. They've had their heart broken twice in my lifetime that I can remember in the Fiesta Bowl with Ohio State and with Penn State. So it's been an area that's been a problem. But if you look at the way the Canes are playing, this year, I think they are fixing it. They are getting some curses. And I got to give a quick shout out to my man, Jeff. He is a new YouTube member. So shout out to you, Jeff. And a lot of people say, what's up with a YouTube member? How do you do that? And you can join the Cowboys Cave family. It's like $4.99 a month, or you can go even higher if you're even more generous. But all that goes back into the channel. And what I do is I'm doing stuff for members. I am going to give back. And I did it before Christmas. I did like a little drawing for 2 of the members to get a $25 gift card to NFL Shop. I have my Cowboys credit card, so I use all my points and all that. And I use it to get gift cards and things like that. So I will be giving back. So if you are a member, it's going to be great. We're going to be doing some member-only content, some member-only stuff. But I can assure you that anyone who's generous to the cave, it's always paid back tenfold. That's just kind of the way it is. That's the way I am. So never ask anyone to become a member. But if you decide, it's there. You just got to hit the join button. And it's really appreciated because, like I said, I don't do this for a living. I do it because I love it. I do it because I enjoy talking football. I enjoy talking Cowboys football with fans. I enjoy talking Miami Hurricanes for sure. And I know not all you guys are Hurricane fans, but I do enjoy that as well. So, Jeff, appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love. And thank you. Yeah. 11. And you're going to be a grandfather in September, man. It's been that long, but Steven, congratulations. I'm not there yet. Hopefully it'll be a little while for me. I don't want to be there yet. But the thing I would say, Steven, you probably know this, is it's like I see my kids' Christmas and I see all this and it's kind of gone now. And like Christmas was no big deal. We went on a cruise. That was their Christmas present. So there really wasn't much under the tree. There wasn't much under the tree for anybody. We each got a small little gift. And so it's kind of sad. And it's like you're looking for things to be open. It's like, man, what can we do? We're bored as hell. And there was really nothing. So I went to McDonald's for lunch because it was the only place open and just kind of chilled and watched a few movies. So Christmas is not the same. But I think when you get that grandchild and when you get the grandchildren again, it's kind of reborn. And the spirit of Christmas. And, one of the best things I did was I saw Jesse Holly. He posted something about he was doing a fundraiser to raise money for kids that don't get a Christmas, to help give them a Christmas. So I made a couple donations to him, and I was kind of like, the money for my kids. Hey, I donated for you. donate some of that over there. So that's kind of what I've been doing now the last few years, is just kind of doing donations to help other kids and give back. So it's yeah. So congrats, Stephen. Hopefully everything goes well, and that's just a cool moment. And yeah, Jeff, appreciate me. I appreciate you. What are you talking about? I appreciate everyone in the cave. So, oh, Lululemon jacket. There you go. Your wife must have been happy with that. Price tag, man. My wife goes to Lululemon, so I know that shit ain't cheap. I know that shit ain't cheap. So, yeah. So anyway, so looking at the changes with the Cowboys, and then the other thing I hear people always saying is, "Man, Mike, what's going on with the tailgate party? What did you already pick a game out? Did you pick the game out? What is it going to be?" Hey, there we go. You already got the itch. I just mentioned it once, and people are reading my mind. People are reading my mind. So, the tailgate party, you guys know this, and anyone who's been part of it long enough, it's going to be early in the season. It's not going to be a 12 o'clock game, so you guys can kind of figure it out when the schedule comes out. It is not going to be a 12 o'clock game. Promise you that. Anyone who was at the last one, that primetime slot, I don't think you can ask for anything better for a couple reasons. One, for me, Kelly, Mark and Cuts and Doug, that meant we didn't have to stay out all night because it was a little bit easier to reserve a spot. It helped that we paid a guy with some few cases of beer, but that was definitely made things better. The other thing is, it was just a great atmosphere, and you were able to tailgate longer. And so it was really cool. And I know some people stayed out, didn't even go into the game. And so that made it even better for them out there that wanted to enjoy it. So we had a lot of local people that, hey, man, I'm not paying to go to the game, but I want to hang out in the tailgate. Well, there's your opportunity. Yeah, Doug knows what I'm talking about. And it was easier for hangovers. And our man Frankie, who was there too, I don't want to leave Frankie out. He understands the appreciation of that. He was able to sleep in a little bit. But so it's going to be early. And I always say this because if the season doesn't go the way we want, I don't want the core group to be the only ones at the tailgate party. So we always do it early. Where hope is high, the spirit is good, and primarily it's either going to be the 3:30 game, or we're going to try and do obviously a prime time. You guys give me your prediction. So someone predicted San Francisco as an option. I gave 2 games. I think if I know the schedule makers right and kind of what they do, I think it's either going to be Philly or it's going to be Jacksonville. I think it's going to be one of those 2 games. Typically, they like to do some AFC games early, the cross conference games early. We got Jacksonville at home. We were in Philly early, right, this past season. So they usually swap that. So that usually means Dallas will be the home game in the first meeting that they have. And they usually like to have division games early in the season. So that's why I think Dallas, Philly could be an option, or I think Jacksonville. So Green Bay, isn't that in Green Bay? I thought the Green Bay game is in Green Bay. I thought it would be. Yeah, Jacksonville. I was at the Jacksonville game, and really don't want to play in Dallas. We beat them every year. I don't know. That's a given in Dallas. So yeah, I got 0 issues playing in Dallas. I've never walked out disappointed when Philly came to Dallas. So 0 issues with that one. The one that I would worry about and that I wouldn't want for some reason is Baltimore. And we had a Cowboys tailgate party against Baltimore, and they beat the hell out of us. The score was closer than the game was. But how crazy is it that John Harbaugh got fired? I think that's crazy. He's been there 18 years. I didn't realize, time flies. Had some great moments there, and that was a heartbreaking loss. And now that poor kicker, you got a lot of nut jobs out there that are attacking this guy on social media, attacking his fiance, just a bunch of lowlifes. He probably got fired because of that game. Because had they won the division, I don't think they would have fired him in the playoffs. I don't think they would have. And I think Baltimore would have been a pretty dangerous team in the playoffs, the way it's kind of set up. And we're going to talk more playoffs tomorrow. I don't want to get too deep into it. But I was really surprised by that move. But I guess, your time kind of wears on, and 18 years is a long time to be a head coach in one spot. That's he could be Giants. I'll be honest with you. I think the Giants are gonna. I think they're leaning towards McCarthy, and I think McCarthy would be a great hire for the Giants. I want McCarthy to go to the Titans, but I don't think they'll do it. I know that I saw in the chat, Jason Garrett they're talking with Jason Garrett. I hope Jason Garrett doesn't go there because my man Cam Newton's there. Cam Newton. I always say Cam Ward. My man Cam Ward is there, and he needs an offensive mind to help my man Cam. So yeah, that'll be it. Which one are you saying definitely getting the job, Doug? Are you talking about who's definitely getting what job? Help me out because I've rambled on. You think Garrett, or you think what I said about McCarthy? Who's going where? Who's going where? Yeah, no, the playoff records with Lamar. Is it all on the coach? I don't know. I mean, maybe fresh. I mean, and I get it. 18 years, like I said, that's a long time. Oh, Harbaugh to the Giants. It would be a good hire. It would be a good hire. I think McCarthy would be better for them because of Jackson Dart. I mean, you guys who don't, McCarthy does phenomenal jobs with quarterbacks. I mean, he develops and gets the most out of quarterbacks. So that's what I would say. Yeah, I don't think Jalen Hurts is the playoff killer. I think the defense of Philly is the playoff killer. Playoff killers don't throw for 100 yards in the playoffs a game. So I think that's the trouble with Philly fans. I think they really do not give their defense the credit that they deserve. And defense wins. And as I look over my shoulder and I look at that that my man Cuts by Jones made for me with that Ibis Sebastian holding up the U, and I look at the Hurricane sign he gave me. Defense, I could tell you, defense makes a difference. Defense makes a big difference, and there ain't no shame in it. People call Carson Beck a game manager and this and that or whatever the hell it is. As long as they're winning, man, I don't really give a shit. I don't care. So I think that Philly fans, some of them, really don't appreciate the defense they have. As a Cowboy fan who's hasn't been part of many great defenses in the past, I would long for a great defense to come to Dallas. So anyway, that goes without saying. Not specifically the Giants, but Harbaugh. Do you think Doug? I wonder if he would take a year off. Harbaugh to the Raiders would be interesting, holding that number one pick. The other one that he talked about with the Raiders was maybe going after the Indiana coach because they got the number one pick. He can get Mendoza. I don't know how his style would translate in the NFL. I think it would. I've been impressed with him. So I think it could. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. Hey, appreciate everyone hanging in here, man. I got 225. You guys hanging with your boy on short notice. So I definitely do appreciate it. Appreciate it more if you guys are hanging in here and you're on YouTube, that you hit that like button, hit that thumbs up right there. Give me a like. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe. We're actually 70 subscribers away from 5,000, which we would have doubled our subscribers from 24 to 25. So it's a testament to everyone at the channel who's been part of the Cowboys Cave family. Definitely appreciate it. But yeah, if you guys are just chilling with you and hit that subscribe, I'm bad at it too, so I get it. But you can hit that subscribe. That doesn't cost you anything. You hit that thumbs up, hit that like, and then you can always share it. Share it on, I'm on Twitter. You can share it, or X, whatever the hell you want to call it, and all that other shit. So definitely do that. Harbaugh to the Falcons. That would be, I don't know how good of a fit he is there. I don't know. I don't think that's an attractive job. Don't let Jimmy know I said that, but I don't think that's an attractive job. I think McCarthy to the Giants. I love that move. And yeah, definitely appreciate Doug. You're a big part of it. My man Doug's a big part of it. He does our road show tailgate. He did it the last 3 years in Carolina. I am going to miss that. I am disappointed, but I think we're going to try and do a road show tailgate. Houston is the one on the radar, because I think that would be good for a lot of Cowboy fans that we've got in the Houston area. I know that would be a game that would be well traveled. And I've never been there, so it'd be kind of cool. As far as going to the stadium, I've been to Houston a million times, but going to the stadium and checking it out, that would be cool. National championship. So here's the deal. If Miami wins, I will be going to Miami. Now I have a couple options. Got a couple options. You guys give me your opinion on it. Tickets are ridiculous, but I want to soak in the moment. So son and I will go down there. We're going to hang out. We're going to do the festivities. We're going to chill with Kane Nation, and we're going to do all that kind of stuff. Then I have an option. Do I let it ride and make one large play with my scheme that I do on roulette and winner take all? If I hit it, we got the money to go to the game and we just ride our ass down to Hard Rock and go enjoy the game? Or do I say, you know what, that risk is too much? Just go to a watch party, go hang out with the fans at a bar, go hang out somewhere and go watch the game. I mean, what do you do? I don't need a room. I don't need a room because I got family that live there. So that's the beauty of it. I don't have to pay for a hotel. I live in Florida. It's a 4-hour drive. So gas is really not much. It's really the ticket. And the ticket right now, upper level, is like $2,500. So yeah, so that would be a problem. I don't know, and this is the thing. I'll caution you, and I'll get back to my Canes. Don't get so caught up in if they tag them, because a lot of times they have to tag before the deadline, and that just allows you more opportunity to negotiate and get everything out. So I would say caution the fans from getting caught up in the whole tag thing. I think the Cowboys will be fine. I would be surprised if they play in Mexico. The only reason I say that is the NFC has the 9 games. AFC has 8. So I would think a home NFC team would be going to Mexico, because otherwise you're going to shortchange Houston's home games to 7. And I don't think they're going to want to shortchange the Cowboys game, because that is a big money maker for the city and obviously for the stadium. So I'll be surprised. Now, you may be right, Eric. What the hell do I know? I would be surprised if that's the game. I could see, which would really shock me, but I could see the Cowboys offering up Arizona, because they play Arizona at home, offering that up to go to Mexico to give 8 games at Dallas and 1 in Mexico. That wouldn't surprise me. Dallas typically doesn't give up home games, though, because the revenue's so good, but they're so big in Mexico. If you remember back in the day, they used to play the Cardinals in Mexico all the time. That used to be commonplace. So that's what, yeah. So anyway, I booked a hotel in Arlington each weekend. Yeah, I mean, that's smart, is you just kind of book those weeks and see what happens. And if you're with the right hotels, you can cancel. So you're a smart man, Steven. I give you credit. And I would say we're going to be in, more than likely, I'd be shocked if our tailgate party isn't in September. I don't think it's ever not been in September. Typically, if we're not the home opener or the opening day, we're usually the second week. And typically they'll do a big game the second week. So I think my money is on week 2, week 3 at the latest. We will have our tailgate party if I'm a betting man. Let's see. And also, if you looked at the Commanders, they cleaned house on all their coaches. So everyone who was throwing flowers and stuff to Dan Quinn and saying what a great job, things aren't going so well for them. And I know the Washington Commanders players were not happy with some of the decisions on the coordinator. I think getting rid of the OC, it's going to be interesting to see what that does for for Daniels and that offense, because I thought he did a pretty good job, and Daniels was hurt a lot of the years, so I don't know if he was looking for fall guys or whatever. And Witt was a part of Cowboys organization. He was one that a lot of people said we should have kept as our defensive coordinator. Do you want him now? Because he's available. If you guys, the ones who are pounding the table to have him now, well, here's your chance if you want him. Brian Flores, I think he's going to get a coaching job. He should have never been let go in Miami. That was just an ego play by the owner. Was in love with Tua, and Flores wanted Herbert, and let's see how that worked out. Looks like Flores was right. So, but I know he had some issues with the NFL, and there was some stuff because he felt like he was unjustly fired, which I don't disagree with him at all. So you are worried if you get that blackball within the ownership. I mean, it is a good old boy kind of network, let's be honest. But I think a lot of that has changed now with a lot of your smaller family owners that were around forever selling teams off to these multi-billion-dollar organizations like Walmart and Amazon and all these other ones. So the landscape of the ownership, has changed a little bit. So we'll see what happens. See, whenever I talk too much, I always have to burp. I don't know why, but San Francisco beat Philly. That's an interesting. We're going to get into some of the playoffs. I don't want to get too much into it now, but that's an intriguing game. But yeah, and maybe Kingsbury wanted to leave. Yeah, maybe he did. I don't follow them enough, and I hadn't really read enough today about it. But I think Kingsbury, I think he's a good coordinator. It's going to be interesting to see where he ends up. I don't think he's ready to be a coach again. I know he had his run in Arizona, didn't really work out. So yeah, no, I do hope that. I do hope that, but I don't know yet. I got to let that one marinate. My concern is that Eagles defense and that Niners offense is definitely a mismatch, but I think the Niners defense is pretty good too. So it's that's gonna be an interesting matchup. I don't know. I'm glad it wasn't the Rams, because I think the Eagles seem to own the Rams. So I'm glad it wasn't the Rams. I think the Niners probably are the best matchup for Philly. If you're rooting for Philly to get out in the first round, that's probably your best option. But still, you're talking about a San Francisco team that's got to fly cross country. And if you follow the show enough, Uncle Cheech's philosophy, cross country. Teams more often than not have difficulty. I think it's a night game. No, it's a 4:30 game. I'm pretty sure, now that I think about it. I think it's a 4:30 game. So it's not going to be a night game, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, not a lot of intrigue in the playoffs, especially on the AFC side. I said, man, if Josh Allen doesn't win a Super Bowl this year, man, I don't know if he'll ever win one. I mean, you don't have Burrow, you don't have Mahomes, you don't have Lamar Jackson. You got a lot of young first-year quarterbacks in the playoffs. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, that team, to me, that's the dangerous team. Obviously, the Texans with their defense. It's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how the AFC. I think if you look at any of these divisions or the conferences, it is so you can throw the 7 teams in each one in a hat and pick out a winner, and you could make an argument for any one of them. I don't remember in recent memory a playoff that is so wide open on both sides where you can make an argument for any team to advance. Now, probably not the Panthers, but Panthers put it on the Niners, so you can argue, hey, they beat some of these teams. And then you look at Pittsburgh, you say, well, maybe not them. Well, Pittsburgh's, they beat New England. So, I mean, you can make these arguments back and forth. Yeah, Jacksonville's hot. and they're playing good football, that's probably the team that I would probably not want to play. New England, I'm not sold on. They've played 2 teams with a winning record. They have had the easiest schedule by far of any team I can ever remember. Now, maybe they're good, maybe they're not. I have no idea, but they lost to Pittsburgh, they beat Buffalo, and they lost to Buffalo. So they kind of went there. So I don't know, unless I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's it. Yeah, the Bears beating the Packers, that would be nice. Bears are a good story. They're another team. I mean, they're playing good football. They're playing good football. Will they be ready for prime time? I mean, that's the question when you see some of these teams going in there and you look at Seattle. Seattle, when they've been the number 1 seed every time they've gone to the Super Bowl, but the question is going to be their quarterback. And I think their defense, there's no question there. But can their quarterback get them to that next level? Can he get over that hump? And that's going to be the big question. But we're going to get into a lot of that on Wednesday. So I don't want to steal a lot of the Wednesday thunder. We're going to get into some more Cowboy talk, but we're going to get into the playoffs. We're going to get into college football playoffs. The Final Four is set between my Hurricanes and Ole Miss, Oregon and Indiana. I mean, not a likely 4. I mean, if you really were looking at it, a lot of people didn't think Ole Miss was going to get that far. I know a lot of people doubted McCain's. I didn't doubt them. Indiana, some people believed in them. I know there's a lot that didn't. Oregon, a lot of people didn't think they'd get past. They get past Texas Tech. So, I mean, it's a wide open college football playoffs, and I'm happy to be part of it. I'm happy the Canes are there. I am excited. Let's see if Seattle runs the ball with the 2 backs. No, they're going to be a problem. I think they got to just play smart football. Yeah, definitely appreciate it. Hit that like. Ole Miss, they're allowing the coach. They're not. Some of the coaches are going to be gone, so they're going to be short coaches. And I think their coach kind of made a mistake to say, "Well, so what?" So I think it minimized that impact. So maybe someone said, "Well, if you don't really care, then we're going to go on." So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, definitely appreciate the love for the Canes, man. It has been a great feeling. I don't know who I'm happier for, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm more happy for me or really more happy for my son. He's been a Cowboy fan. He's been a Cane fan. He was born in 2004, so he hasn't seen the Miami Hurricane National Championships I saw in the late 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and early 2000s. He didn't see the Super Bowls I saw in the 90s, so he has been starved for a championship. So I think I'm more happy for him than I am for me, and to be able to share it with him, it's awesome. So I'm hoping to get one more game. Hopefully we can get one more game. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to sit here and talk shit. It is going to be it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight. Ole Miss, they got a chip on their shoulder, but so do we. I wish Ole Miss would talk a little bit more smack. They've been kind of very respectful and quiet. So then give me an opportunity to talk smack. And there's really no rivalry between Ole Miss and Miami. I don't think we've really played. I don't ever remember playing them. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, Philly, Buffalo. That would be. I could see it. I think if Buffalo don't make it this year, I think they're done. I don't think they're done. Now he's good. I think our defense is better than their offense, and I think our offense is better than their defense. I think we should win, but it's not by this huge margin. It's not like I think we're so much better than them, but I think what we've learned, and if you're a Cowboys fan, watch Miami football especially the last 2 games. What a defensive line and an offensive line can do in controlling the game. That's what they've done. I mean, the Canes have controlled the game. They haven't blown them out, but they've won comfortably. Like, there was never a doubt in the Ohio State game, if you watched it, that Miami wasn't the better team and was going to win. But hey, it was close for a little bit, then they pull away. The same thing with A&M. It was windy, it was crazy, but you can just sense that they were better in the trenches on both sides of the football. And if you're better in the trenches and both sides of football, you're going to win the game. I see Chris agrees. And Bain and Mesidor. I mean, Mesidor doesn't get enough love. But you guys are going to get me crazy because I'll talk Canes for an hour. I got to roll, but definitely appreciate the love. Hit that thumbs up on your way out, and definitely subscribe. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We are so close to 5,000 subscribers. So I always say, we're all Cowboy fans. Tell a friend. Hey, you know the Cowboys Cave? Go check them out on YouTube. Hit that subscribe, man. Support the channel. We do great content. We got the interviews. We're getting back to all that stuff. So you guys have a good night. Appreciate the off show, not on Monday, but on Tuesday. It was last minute. I'm going to go watch The Beast in Me. My wife and I got a new series. We finished The Mayor of Kingstown. We obviously Landman and a friend of ours recommended The Beast in Me. So I'm on season 3. Don't spoil it, or episode 3. Don't spoil it, but we'll see it. Appreciate it. Thanks for the love. I will see you guys later. You guys take care. See you.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.